Beating PSG is one thing, but can we do it at the Bernabéu? Welcome back to the Sir Alex Ferguson Aberdeen Challenge here on Super Sammy Plays. We pulled off a huge upset in the last episode as we beat PSG, but today the challenge gets even bigger. We've got 3 massive European ties ahead of us. Firstly, we travel to Germany to face Borussia Dortmund, then welcome Olympiakos to Batodri before a huge night at the Bernabéu as we face European giants Real Madrid. If we want to prove that the PSG result wasn't a fluke, this is how we do it. So, let's get into it. And we're going to be starting off today's episode with that first game against Dortmund in Germany. And this one starting off pretty poorly from an Aberdeen perspective, as we end up going 1-0 down from a goal from Maximilian Boyer in the opening minute of the game. Things were then made even more difficult after Moussa Diaby, who's just complained about his lack of game time that we've not given him since he's come back from his injury, gets an absolute rush of blood to the head and picks up a straight red card for a foul on Kobar. And things are going to be pretty difficult from this point onwards. Already 1-0 down. Sorry, make that 2-0 down as Adeyemi slots past Charles to make it 2 in the first 10 minutes. So, 2-goal deficit with 10 men. Things are going to be pretty difficult from this point forwards. To be fair, though, we did give it a good shot, as in the 22nd minute, we look to have got back in it as Renato Sanchez pulls it across to the far post for Carvalho to slot into the back of the net. But unfortunately, you might have noticed, Renato Sanchez was offside in the build-up, and unfortunately the goal is going to be ruled out, which looks to be a correct decision. 10 minutes later, though, we do end up actually getting a goal back after what is, I think, an absolute brilliant team move. Lovely bit of play, great ball from Sanchez with a first-time pass from Aouar to Lazetic, and he shoots past the goalkeeper to pull us back into it, making the scoreline 2-1. The players really took enthusiasm from that as we go looking for a second inside the opening 10 minutes of the second half. Lazetic having a header saved and Keskinen playing Lazetic through in the 81st minute. Great ball in behind to Redondo, and he unfortunately shoots straight at the goalkeeper and it goes out for a corner. And that is how the game finishes as we lose 2-1. Next up, we played Motherwell away in the league as we look to go back to winning ways after losing that result in Germany. And we start off brilliantly as in the 18th minute, Rulson gets it out on the right-hand side, going past his man, crossing it to the far post, and a great header from Sato to pull us 1-0 up. Sato then involved again as he plays a great ball over the top to Renato Sanchez. He pulls it into the middle and Lazetic turns and shoots, and his effort goes, well, I think it was a shot anyway, looks to have gone to Carvalho, and he taps in to make it 2. Before we add a third in the 56th minute, Renato Sanchez again straight onto Carvalho's head to give us a 3-goal lead before we wrap it up just a few minutes later in the 64th. Lazetic gets tackled and the ball comes straight back to Renato Sanchez, and he's certainly on fire at the moment as he scores to make it 4-0. And like I said, Sanchez is on form at the moment. He's getting the plaudits from that game after another goal. And he has certainly stepped up since we've changed formation and gone to centre mids rather than DMs. Certainly suits him better as he is putting in great performance. And it's good to see that he's no longer worried about being replaced, which I think was the case after we signed Morgan Gibbs-White. He does have 7 goals as well in all competitions, which is not bad considering he is playing that centre mid role. And he gets a chance to add another to that as we play Olympiakos at home in the Champions League phase. And we start off absolutely flying. Sato again, he's absolutely been cooking recently as well. Getting on the end of a Keskinen pass to fire it into the back of the net. And it's a great first-time ball from Keskinen. And a tidy finish from Sato as he bends it over the goalkeeper. Unfortunately, though, we end up conceding pretty quickly after Suzuki with the equaliser in the 24th minute. Before Lazetic goes pretty close in the 36th corner, straight onto his head. And unfortunately, it's saved. We do, however, go in front in the 57th minute as Keskinen boosts past his man, pulls it across for Sato, and I'm pretty sure it was that his second goal of the game as well. And it was. And we win against Olympiakos at 2-1. Unfortunately, Mitchell Frame has picked up an injury and he's going to be out for a couple of weeks. But Keskinen shining. We get a nice chunk of money with the 1.8 million for winning that game. And yeah, like I said, Sato, he's been doing really well for us so far this season. Wasn't someone that I was aware of prior to signing him, but he's certainly, I'm certainly not going to forget his name anytime soon when it comes to Football Manager. He's making some great developments, and he's now got 4 goals and 4 assists in the Premier League and 2 and 2 in the Champions League. He's also valued at 17.5 to 23 million, which is pretty mad considering we signed him on a free. And yeah, certainly one that I'll be looking for on other saves if he ever becomes available on a free again. Unfortunately, the injuries are back as Liam Cullen is now going to be out for 2 to 3 weeks. And yeah, he just can't seem to get going this season. I ended up having a look actually at his injury history because he's just not been fit at all this season, as you'll see from here. So this season he's had one major injury where he was out for 5, another one where he was out for 3, and now he's going to be out for another 2 to 3 weeks. So that's nearly 3 months of a season that he's already missed. So as we go away to Ibrox to play Rangers, it looks like we're going back to the singular striker formation, as we currently don't have enough again, as I don't think Leonardo's quite back fit yet. But Renato Sanchez, he's stepped up. He scores another goal, putting us 1 goal up inside the opening 14 minutes and getting us off to a great start. Before we add another in the 31st, as Brandon Williams in at left back. Obviously, Kamara's been injured a lot this season. And he finds a great ball over the top for the onrushing Lazetic to fire into the back of the net. In the 37th minute, we do see an attack from Rangers as Chamiti heads it down to Asgard, and that guy seems to do something against us every single time we play them. Probably one I should have actually had a look at signing. But we do manage to get another one in the 56th, making it 3-1 with Ryosuke Sato scoring another goal. Before he adds another, as Brandon Williams crosses it in, the slide tackle stopping Sato getting to the ball, but Awa picks it up, finds Sato, and he shoots into the back of the net to make it 4-1. Rangers do pull another back, and that man is involved again, Asgard, playing it across to Bajrami, and it finishes 4-2 as we take another 3 points against Rangers. And this is how the table is looking after the opening 14 games. Celtic are now up to second place, but they're currently 8 points behind us, so we are looking very comfortable. And Rangers are all the way down in 6th place, 16 points behind us, so they have fallen off massively. You can see we are the most on a lot of things in terms of the stats, and Sato, I'm not sure why that's not highlighted yellow, but he has the highest average rating so far in the league. Vitek with the most clean sheets, Awa with the most key passes and man of the matches, and I was interested to see where we were sitting in terms of goal scoring, considering we're having to change our strikers pretty much every match in terms of injuries. So yeah, just one behind with Awa and Sato, who stepped up recently. Him and Sanchez will add. Sato and Sanchez both just 2 behind the leader. So we do manage to actually go back with 2 strikers in this one, as Vernblad is back, as we welcome Dundee to Pittodrie. In the 37th minute, Vernblad nearly benefits from a loose touch from the Dundee defence, but unfortunately it is blocked and ends up going out for a corner, which nothing comes from. Before Dundee go looking for a goal of their own just before half-time, but a good save from Charles puts it out for a corner. 20 minutes into the second half, we go looking for a counter-attack, and Lazetic gets tackled. And Hamilton finding Hay, and a great effort, unfortunately for him, hitting the crossbar and coming back out before we finally make the breakthrough in the 87th minute. Diaby's cross, finding Lazetic in the middle, and he shoots home to make it 1-0. 2 minutes later, we quickly add a second as a wonder pass from Awa straight over the top to Lazetic. He takes a great touch to the left and fires past the goalkeeper to make it 2-0. And yeah, I thought this was worth looking at again. An absolute wonder pass from Awa. And Dundee do eventually pull one back in the 90th minute. Great flick on from Armstrong, sending Hay through one-on-one with the goalkeeper and firing past him to make it 2-1. But it was too little too late as we go on to win another game and take 3 points. So I knew these 2 contracts were coming up, so we decided to actually go ahead and offer them new ones. Lazetic has been doing really well for us this season, eventually, since he's been actually getting a consistent run of games. And Ralston probably didn't expect to play him as much, but obviously with the injury to Jimenez, he's our backup right back. So I thought it'd be worth just re-signing him, especially with the homegrown status. He's trained in Scotland, and it's just cheaper to renew that and have him as a happy backup than go out and spend millions or try and find another free transfer to replace him. And that man we just mentioned, Lazetic, does end up picking up Player of the Month, which is pretty good to see. Shows how well he's been doing recently. And Renato Sanchez coming second, also highlighting what he's been doing for us recently as well. And we get another chance to add another win to that as we go away to Hibs. And this one doesn't start off so great for us, as Eldin looks to have put Hibs 1-0 up inside the opening 23 minutes. But thankfully, you can see he's very tight, but he is offside. And we get away with one there. But in the 30th minute, a great ball from Robbie Ure, and Elding does get his goal, and Hibs do go 1-0 up. And that is how the first half finished. After some words at half-time, we do end up pulling it back with Vernblad scoring from a Gabi Carvalho cross in the 53rd minute. And then I was making some substitutions and nearly missed a goal as Vernblad scored again in the 58 to put us 2-1 up. Brilliant from the youngster. He's certainly stepping up now. He's getting a bit more game time, especially now he's free from injuries. We look to add a third in the 66th minute as Gabi Carvalho nicks the ball off the defender. Vernblad passing it back to Carvalho and he shoots into the back of the net. But just like that first Hibs goal, it was very narrowly offside and it is going to get ruled out. But we do still hold on to the win and get another 3 points as we beat Hibs 2-1. And yeah, Vernblad getting the plaudits from that one as he scored both goals in the win, which is great to see for the youngster. His value seems to be going up every time we look at him. And yeah, that's certainly a middle finger to the board who gave us an F, if you remember, for signing him. So yeah, good to see some up arrows as well on his stats, as he certainly looks like he's improving. And you'll see Ralston and Lazetic both accepted those contracts and went on to sign extensions, which is good. It means that we don't have to look for some more backups and whatnot for right back, and we need all the strikers we can get at the moment. So obviously, playing two up top, we've only got two backups, and we've rarely even had that most of this season because of the amount of injuries. Honestly, it's been like a war zone. But this is the one that you've all been waiting for as we go away to the Bernabéu to play Real Madrid. And I'm not entirely sure what happened to Litherland. I just mentioned about a battlefield. I think a sniper must have got him, as he nearly cost us early on as Vinicius Jr. hits the post after Litherland just collapsed in the middle of the pitch. And would you believe it, in the 35th minute, Litherland's made a shock recovery, but what a wonderful passing team move this is until this point, as Lazetic tries to play a ball in behind, gets lucky, picking up on the ball from Tar, pulls it across into the middle, and Morgan Gibbs-White puts us 1-0 up at the Bernabéu away to Real Madrid and those Galacticos. And that is how we head in at the half-time. And you can see from the stats, we've been pretty even. Before, Real Madrid turned into a prime Arsenal and went for corner ball as they pull the equaliser back in the 52nd minute. Corner ends up coming back out to the left and Chouameni shoots into the back of the net to level it up. And then you already know how it's going to go as Real Madrid go looking for a second as Gonçalo Ramos plays it out to the right with Rodrigo and he just runs past everyone, shoots under the goalkeeper and puts Real Madrid 2-1 up. So we were in front for a little while, but corner ball is back as they add a third in the 67th minute from Vinicius Jr. And yeah, it looks like the game's gone now. But we do get a glimmer of hope after Jimenez dispossesses Vinicius Jr., gives it to Cullen. He goes past Vinny Jr. and an absolute head loss moment from him as he gets a straight red card for a two-footed tackle on Liam Cullen. So there was a chance as Liam Cullen looks to pull us back into it in the 84th as his free kick unfortunately hits the post and Real Madrid clear it to safety before we did actually pull another one back in the 89th minute. Keskinen's cross deflects to Lazetic. Redondo plays it across to Cullen, and that man who seemed to be involved in everything in the second half does pull a goal back for us, making it 3-2. But unfortunately, it was too little too late, and we do go on to lose the game. And this is how we are currently sat after 6 games in the Champions League We are down in 22nd place on 7 points. And to be honest, I was quite surprised at this because I felt like we'd done really well. But we've played really well against a lot of really big teams. We've had an absolute ridiculous run of fixtures. And we've done pretty well against Dortmund. Well, I mean, we've scored in pretty much every game we've played against Dortmund, Newcastle, Paris Saint-Germain, Real Madrid. So we're going to have it all to do as we play the next 2 games. I think they're in January, the final 2 league phase games. And I think the only games we've actually lost recently are in the Champions League. As you can see, our league form has been pretty ridiculous. But yeah, our next 2 league phase games are going to be against Sporting Lisbon and Red Bull Salzburg, and they're going to be in the 17th of Jan and the 24th of Jan. So we've got a little while now until we play them, which means things like this won't really affect us anytime soon in terms of the Champions League anyways. Vitek picks up a virus and he's going to be out for 2 weeks. And unfortunately, he must have been... I'm not sure what he must have been doing with Awa, but he must have been doing something because Awa's now picked it up as well. And I'm never sure what to do with in terms of a virus because, like, surely you're supposed to see a doctor or something. But then, obviously, you don't want to send him at the club and pass it on to everybody else. But I sent him to the doctor anyway, and he's going to be out for 2 weeks. So we'll see if he ended up contaminating the rest of the club. And yeah, we mentioned this guy earlier on, Sato. He's been absolutely cooking recently. He's showing pleasing progress in training. Developing really well, and you can see, I think we mentioned earlier on, he was on 4 goals and 4 assists, and he's now on 8 and 6, so he's added quite a few more to that, and yeah, he's looking like an absolute gem of a signing for us, and hopefully he continues to improve. And he'll get another chance to score some more goals here as we play Falkirk at home in the league. And we go looking to add another win to our collection as we go 1-0 up inside the opening 30 seconds with Martin Bernblad adding another for him as well. 28 minutes in, Prenk Pelage, his cross is cleared out to the right and Gabby Carvalho, I mean, unreal dribbling from him, pulls it across and Marcos Leonardo finally back from injury and fit. He has still got a point to prove after that conversation we had about him needing to score goals to stay in the team. And he scores early for us there. And then Gabby Carvalho gets fouled in the 67th minute, giving us a penalty. And Leonardo gets his 2nd goal of the game as he fires home, sending the goalkeeper the wrong way to make the scoreline 3-0. We then top it off with another goal in the 82nd minute, coming from a corner. It gets cleared as far as Bailey. He finds it back out wide to Diaby, and the low curling effort goes under the goalkeeper, giving us a 4-goal lead and another win. So we do meet expectations in a dominant win, and Leonardo getting the plaudits after scoring 2 goals on his return, which is good to see. Long may this form continue as, we mentioned he needs to start scoring goals if he wants to stay in the team because Vernblad, in his absence, has been doing very well. Lazatic as well. Also been obviously playing really well. So, yeah, just the 3 goals last season in 13 games. Ironically, his stats are almost identical at this point this season compared to the last. Obviously, we signed him in the January. And so, quite funny that we picked this time to actually look as his stats, 3 goals, 1 assist. And hopefully he continues as he obviously scored 2 of those 3 goals in the last game. And we'll see how he gets on as now we've got a good run of fixtures in the league before our next Champions League games. And this is how we're going to end it for today. 17 played, 45 points. Celtic still behind us by 8 points in second. And Lubo Pujic has actually stepped up now. So he is the highest average rated player in the league. As Carvalho is still got the most assists with 8. So we're still sitting pretty comfortably at the top of the league with an 8-point gap to second. And we've done ourselves proud in Europe as well. We beat Olympiakos and only narrowly lost to Real Madrid. An early red card against Dortmund really cost us though, and we've still got a lot of work still to do in our remaining 2 fixtures in the league phase. With no more European football till mid-January, our focus now fully shifts back to the league. We need to make sure we come out of this Christmas period with a healthy lead still at the top of the table. If you enjoyed today's video, do me a favour, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will catch you guys in the next one.